see the pistol on me, the size of a midge. Looking for a pussy named Pluto. Real name Joseph Haywood. You know when I catch a witch, I'ma put this bitch in culo. Ride through the city, pistol on me, the size of a midge. Looking for a pussy named Pluto. Real name Joseph Haywood. You know when I catch a witch, I'ma put this bitch in culo. Ride through the city, pistol on me, the size of a midge. Looking for a pussy named Pluto. Real name Joseph Haywood. You know when I catch a witch, I'ma put this bitch in culo. Was running through the city, tub like you can't be judged. Now I'm home with you was hating, was capping. I ain't let it. My mama make you clean it up. 40 on my hip, eye on your lip. Watch it. Sight. None of the pistolas worth space. All of a sudden, say that. Clean it up. I'ma make them clean it up. Bitch, nigga, clean it up. I'ma make them clean it up. I'ma make them clean it up. I'ma make them clean it up. Hey, bitch, nigga, clean it up.
Man, what up, world? What up, family? It's your boy Mac with Stay Ready Boxing TV coming at you with some news you can use in another episode of Ringside Views. And I got the young future champion, Nafear Charles, with me. What's up with it, champ?
Good. How you doing?
Appreciate you coming through fucking with me today, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. I got a few people already in the building. We got the homie DB, OG Eric from St. Louis, Dre's Finest and the Boxing Source. He said big things for Nafear Charles. I see you. Man, appreciate y'all coming through. The call-in lines is wide open. So if y'all have any questions for the future champ, man, y'all make sure y'all come through and express what you got to say. Man, what's up with you today, champ?
Not much, man. Just got through a hard workout about an hour ago.
I heard you got a hell of a workout regimen.
Yeah, man.
What's your actual regimen? What does a 1 day in training consist of for Nafear Charles?
So today, wake up around 4 a.m. Probably get a 4 to 5 mile jog in. Do about 5-6 sprints. We got like a new park up Delaware. It's pretty steep. It goes like straight up like that. So yeah, probably 5 or 6 of those, and then we rest up to the afternoon. The workout starts at 2:30. Boxing, training, body vest, simple boxing stuff. That's probably 2-3 hours, and just the rest would be just mental training. I talk to my mom, my dietitian, and just making sure I stay on weight for the fight.
Okay. I seen one workout you was doing where you was doing pull-ups while somebody was hitting you in your ass with the medicine bag.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that caught my attention. I was watching a lot of your videos, man. I seen some of your amateur fight. Man, you look great. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna ask you, where do you see what type of style do you consider yourself having?
I'm a lot more versatile than I think people give me the credit for. So I can't give you the seek and destroy, take out whoever's in front of me. I could also take the technician. I could go around, box a dude from the inside out. I could do the body up, take out his body, and rise up to his face. I could do all kinds of different, techniques and styles. But people just tell me I have a lot of power. So, that's why I look forward to showing people in my next fight that I could do a lot more than just take a dude out.
Okay. You still plan on taking him out in your next fight?
Of course.
Yeah, I see your next opponent is George Shepard. Do you know anything about him?
I know a little bit. Not too much, though.
One of the things I've seen a few of your fights. The first one I seen your first fight. Shout out to G5 Jeff. He sent that to me. I seen you get a knockout with a body shot. And that was a beautiful body shot. Dude dropped the one knee and just did not want to get up.
Yeah, they held that fight a little bit longer than it should have, but as placement goes, you always know where We don't really want to go for the kill. But at the same time, you see it's an opening, you take it. You know what I mean?
You understand? I completely understand. So, and let's talk about one of the fights that I saw, to where you had the dude out cold. He was standing up and he was out cold, and the ref had to come stop it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was my. I think that was my second fight. Yeah.
okay.
Dude, they had told me beforehand like not to take the dude lightly though, because he works for a lot of bigger dudes, and he, from what I hear, he couldn't be knocked out. So I wanted to test his jaw and see what it was really like. So
From what
unfortunately,
from what I've been hearing about you, that you're a lot stronger than most 135-pound fighters. And I see you already every fight. Well, you 3-0 with all three TKOs. You know what I'm saying? And the two I seen, they really knockout. They just call them TKOs. Don't know why.
hmm
The dude was out on his feet. The other one took a body shot and was on his knee and would not get up while the ref was counting. That's a knockout to me. But that was great fighting. The amateur fight that I saw, man, that was great tactician work. You was patient. And one thing I say is, when I'm watching you, from every video I've seen, you got a fighting style of Terry Norris to me.
hmm
That's exactly how you look. Do you know anything about Terry Norris?
uh, other than a superb jab, not that much. No.
You got one hell of a jab. I want you to take some time. You got to go look up some of his fights, and you'll see what I mean. And then go look at your fights, and you'll see the ones that I've seen. But you said you're a tactician, so I want to see some of the. I want to see when you have to go in your bag. You ain't had to yet. You
Yeah.
have it fun right now. It look like.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to
So
fight.
I'm gonna ask you some generic questions. What got you into boxing?
My cousins got me into boxing actually. My family was real big on street fighting. Uh, it wasn't really my thing until later in the years, but I felt myself drifting towards it. Me always being behind my cousins, they was like my role models. So, whenever they got into, I got into. So, me and my pop, we went to the gym one day. We didn't even start out necessarily boxing. We started out weightlifting because the gym that we was in was technically a weightlifting gym, but they had a boxing ring in there. So we started out weightlifting every Saturday and Sunday, and every now and then we throw a little boxing in there. And my father, he had met one of his old friends from high school, and he had told him about the recreational center, King Sesson, up up southwest. So we got the information from him. We went down to the boxing gym. He asked me if I really wanted to do it. I told him yeah, and I fell in love ever since, man. It's been on and off. I've had a few falls with boxing because situations with outside of the ring, but other than outside situations, I really couldn't see myself doing anything else.
I was on mute. I said you're still young. You're only 20 years old, so you got a full career in front of you.
Yeah.
Do you see? Where do you see yourself as far as? Better yet, I'm gonna ask you a better question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in this sport?
Next 5 years.
Yeah, what are your goals for right now for the next 5 years?
So one would be medical school. I'm currently looking to be a pharmacist. So you know, in my training, but yeah, medical school. And two, I wanna be at least fighting for the title, if not already have it by 4 to 5 years. I mean, I want to have it by 3, but you know,
Okay. John the Great asks, how much amateur experience did you have, and what point did you feel you were ready to go pro?
I had, I forgot, it was like 60, 70 fights, I think. I lost like, I think eight or nine, I think. It was, amateurs was fairly easy. I really didn't see myself having too many problems with the dudes I was facing. It was just the the weight, like, and then the process of fighting the amateurs is just so stressful when you got people that's like literally in front of you saying, "Dude, I'm not gonna fight you," and that pissed me off so much because like I trained all week, all month, all year for this fight, and I don't get to fight anybody. You know what I mean? And it would mess with me mentally. Like it got to the point where I was struggling to listen to my father while he was coaching me because I was so in tune with not listening to anybody because I was so heated about not fighting nobody. Like it was so frustrating a lot of days. Like I feel like if I would have gotten all the fights that I signed up for, I'd probably have somewhere around 150 fights.
Damn.
Like,
Do
and
you think do you think that hindered you in any kind of way, or did that frustrate you and make you want to quit sometime, or did that push you to make you want to go even harder to become a pro?
it
And,
was at
and
it was at one point where I actually did quit, like, because I couldn't see myself actually getting past anything. Like, I wanted to showcase my skills, not only showcase but experience more. I mean, the whole point in being an amateur is to get those outside looks. So when you eventually do go into the pros, you already seen everything, you know? And it was like I wasn't seeing nothing other than the regular dudes already. And the dudes that I seen already, they would never fight me again, you know? So it would really just mess with me mentally. Like I really wanted to fight and I couldn't get nowhere with it. And being in the amateurs, you really want to get that experience, and you can't get it because the kid in front of you is like, I'm not gonna fight him. You know,
but when you quit, what brought you back? Like who talked to you? What was that mentor, that inspiration, or that motivator that got you? Man, look, you're a great talent. You have, I believe, you got a great future ahead of you. You need to get back in there.
my
What
father,
got you to decide this is where I want to be?
my father, he it really pushed me. I was at a point where I was just like, I was just done with the sport completely. I was more invested in school, and I really like boxing was probably the last thing on my mind. And he asked me, did I want to train one day, and I was like, why not? And I rekindled all the old feelings that I had for the sport, and it brought me back completely. So ever since then, I mean, we've been rocking strong. So you know,
Is your father's that's who I see in the videos training you?
yeah, my father's my main trainer. Yeah.
Okay, what?
Thank you.
How long has he been dealing with the sport?
We have been in sport for probably 10 years now. He started the same day I did. He didn't know anything about boxing no more than I did. So when he started, I started.
Okay, so it's kind of like y'all had that learning process, but now y'all got both of your eyes open. He see it from the trainer's aspect, and you're actually in the ring
Yeah,
putting it all together.
yeah. Because like I said, we were originally my family was street fighters. We didn't fight for no money. We fought for what little we had. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really no big prize money, you know, goals in boxing. It was just I like to fight, so that's what I'm gonna do. And currently, I feel like me gaining the experience with boxing. It showed me a lot more than just the regular street life. I learned so much through boxing, man. Like I would take what I've learned and I would give it to so many kids because it's so much more than just being in that ring and fighting dudes. It's the experience, it's the learning part, the gaining new information, the experience, everything with boxing just it has a click to it. Not every kid has that, but I know in some way, shape, or form, some kid's gonna see that this young man, Nafear Charles, is putting his all into this heavy bag. Why is he going so hard? Why is he putting his all into it? I need to go talk to him, and they go talk to me. I talk to all the kids in the gym, all of them. They all know me. I'm their best friends for real, and it's love. Like I only give them the best advice because I want to see them prosper as I would see myself, you know?
So it's safe to say that you mentor a lot of those kids in the gym that you train on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they all look up to you like you big brother.
I for a lot of them, I started a lot of the kid boxing for them. Like a lot of them wasn't really influenced into going into amateur scene. Like a lot of the kids, they just box and then they go home and say, "Mommy, I know how to fight now." You know what I mean? But now it's, "Mom, I'm registered to fight. I can fight people on an actual scale, on an actual scene." And seeing these kids actually get progress and gain like over time is an amazing sight. I mean, I feel like how a father will when he sees his son. You know, it's something you can't really explain.
Hold on, we got somebody calling the call in line. So hold on real quick.
No.
Hey, caller, you on the line with Stay Ready Nafear Charles. What you got?
Hey, what is good, man? It's an honor to be on here again. Stay ready.
All
Salute
right.
to the champ.
All right, salute.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just have a question, man. I don't know if you answered it or I don't know if you asked it, but I was just tuning in just a few minutes ago, and one of the questions I have, and one thing that really admires me about any fighter, that steps in the ring, is the courage. You know what I mean, that they have, and what keeps, this is for the champ, Mr. Charles. What keeps you under control when you're in the heat of a moment of a fight? If I'm not mistaken, you said you had around 60 amateur fights. As an amateur, they get it on. You know what I mean? In the ring, the adrenaline goes, sky high. How do you stay under control, man? How do you stay, focused in the ring?
Experience. Definitely a lot of experience. When you get
Hold on. I'm a hey big
Mr. Charles.
hey Renee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. You asked that question so he can answer. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you for a second. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Nafear.
Yeah, like I said,
They get it on. You know what I mean? In the ring, adrenaline goes.
I'm at the end of that. All right, go ahead and answer it.
yeah, it's definitely a lot of experience though. Like just being in that constant feel of you being pressured to give your best performance. You get that so often. Like I said, with 60 fights, after I got the first few fights, I felt like after 4 or 5, I could constantly do this because I'm in this position constantly. You know what I mean? Once you like, I'm pretty sure when you have like, let's say what's it called? I forgot what the job was called. It's like a snake tailor or something like that. But like when you have a job like that, I'm pretty sure when a person's about to grab that snake, they're nervous as hell because this is their first time getting it. They're grabbing the snake. But after years and years and years, they're like just grabbing the snake by their hand because they know when and where to grab them, what to do in the situation if the snake turns his head this way or that way. They get so in tune with all the experience that they have that they don't even need to be worried about it anymore. You know.
I get what you said. I forgot what it's called. I just call him crocodile hunter, like the dude that died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Experience, and that goes a long way. How did transitioning? How did transitioning from the amateurs to the pros affect you? And what did you learn that was different once you got into pros?
It was a big transition. I mean, like I said, boxing in amateurs was easy, so I didn't really take it that serious. I was fighting 25, 35, 32, and 52. I was going up and down in weights just because I felt like I could, you know? And it wasn't a good idea because, I was fighting dudes that was way bigger than me, but I felt so comfortable doing it that I was actually winning a lot of those fights, you know? So when I got down to the professional scene, it was way harder workouts. I mean, I didn't do early morning workouts before I turned pro. I was just doing one a days and that'd be it, you know. But now I'm doing early mornings, afternoons, and then night workouts. So I'm doing 3 different workouts, 3 different hours between each session. I'm constantly putting my body to the brim of working out at the complete best, the most I can. So it was a complete transition for me. Like waking up at 4 in the morning was a completely new thing for me. Like I was damn near falling asleep on the ride to the track because I was so used to sleeping the whole day, and then finally working out at the end of the day that I didn't even think about it that way, you know. So when I finally got down to it, we just had to work, you know. Wasn't no excuses. I couldn't say, oh, I don't want to do this, I want to do that. You're a professional now. You can't really make no excuses. So
So, what was the biggest weight class you fought at amateur? And what's the smallest weight class?
152, and the smallest was 125.
125? Damn, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, I was just having fun with it, honestly.
So, what made you decide to go 135 instead of to a lower weight class and consistently make that smaller weight with the power that you got?
I felt comfortable I feel like at 135, not only can I still utilize my full power, but I can also move and use all the power I have at 152. So I still keep the full package of being a lighter weight with all the same benefits of being at 152.
I know what's your height? About 5'9"?
Yeah.
What you got, about a 70-inch reach?
Yeah, might be a little bit longer. Yeah.
About a little longer. Okay. So, yeah, you are about 135, maybe 140. I can see you 140. Where do you, I know a lot of fighters start off low and then they end up, like you at 135, Terrence Crawford, 135, 140, 147. Floyd, 130 to 154. Manny Pacquiao, 118 to 154, back to 147.
Mm.
Where do you want to end your career off? Where do you think you're going to be? I know it's early, but
Should probably. I think the hot division right now is 147. So shit, if I can get just a piece of those legends coming out the door, that'd be great. One of them would be splendid for me.
that's a glamour division too. 147 is a welterweight division is a monster. What's so where you at now? Is it anybody on top that you envision yourself fighting?
Man, I don't really care about fighting none of them dudes, man. They all can get it, bro.
Any and everybody.
From number one to number 300, I don't care.
Free smoke. I say I like that attitude. That right there alone makes me a fan. I'm not gonna lie to you, because that lets me know you don't care who in front of you. You want to get them out of there and go to move on
Prepare,
to the next. You put them in front of me, I'm gonna knock them down.
prepare for any and everything, man.
Because once you get to the top and you get that title in front of you, then you're gonna have those fighters calling you out, and you're gonna hear all the explanations and the excuses and why they don't want to fight you, or the ones that are trying to fight you saying you ducking, you know. But it's a part of the business of boxing, and I can see you now not giving a damn, but just say, "Well, come on, let me go ahead and get rid of you, so I ain't got to worry about you no more."
Handle it before it become for the problem escalate.
Exactly.
I ain't,
Exactly.
for most people that know me, I'm not too much of a talker, so that's not really what I'm finna do when I get to the situation.
What's your biggest aspiration for the sport?
To financially get my family into a better position. Not only just my family, but my people. Like I feel like a lot of people when they get that little bit of money, they go out and they do them. They worry about them. They say F everybody else. I want to uplift my community. Philadelphia is at its worst right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're at, I think, 300 homicides so far in the year, and we still got, what, like 3 more months left? It's crazy right now. It's police sirens going through up and down the street at all hours of the day. It's crazy in Philadelphia right now. I really just want to uplift my community. I want to give people an alternative besides the violence that they feel like they need to end every day. I know a lot of these people, and I know they're not like this in reality, but they're forced to because of the situation that they're in. A lot of people, they can't just walk away from it because they were born into it. A lot of people, even them being born into it, they can't just simply leave. I can give them a position where even if you are a felon, you still have the opportunity to work under this name, and you can get all of that expunged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really just want to get my family and my community at a better place in life. You know what I mean?
What is something that you do in the community now as we coming up?
Like I said, I do a lot of mentoring for the kids, fundraisers, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. I do whatever I can around the kids. Giving back whenever I see kids, that's kind of my go-to because I like to bring them up early. Them knowing that, damn, this dude right here been boxing his whole life, and he's actually making an image for not only me, but my older brother, my older sister, my mom, my dad. He's also showing them how they can uplift the people around them. Like I can't help the world. I know I can't do that, but I can only. But I'm gonna give whatever I can before I leave. You know what I mean? And that's really all that matters to me.
And you're right. And how is it being one of the young fighters coming up in Philadelphia? Because I was in Philadelphia Valentine's Day for the Showtime Valentine's Day Massacre with Montana Love and Jericho Walton. I was at that fight. And
I was there too.
huh? Did you
I was
fight that night?
no, no, I didn't
Okay.
fight. No. I was
Yeah.
actually supposed to be on that card. I think.
You were.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I was actually out there. I was covering that fight. I was out there with Jericho. You know, he's coming out of Houston, and just looking at some of the fighters that I met out of Philly. Philly has a bright future as far as the boxing scene goes. Y'all got a lot of up and coming fighters. And how does it feel to be one of those, one of those guys coming up and looked at as one of the future of boxing right now?
I mean, it feels good, but it also comes with its tolls and its future upbringings. So I say future upbringings when I mean by the potential of losing that, like how I don't know if you know too much about Allen Iverson, but
Love, yeah, that's my favorite basketball player.
Allen Iverson was at a point in his career where he had the entire country, all the schools coming for him, and he had an altercation at his school, and it came to a point where they all declined on him. You know what I mean?
I remember that what happened in the basketball gym. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the bowling alley. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. But like I'm saying, that is the product of a lot of Philadelphia fighters. I know dudes that could have really been world champions and they never got to it because the streets always held them back. They always felt like they needed to apply themselves to a different area and they couldn't get to where they really wanted to be in life. You know?
yeah. So I'm looking at like what you just said, and what is to keep you away from that so you don't get involved in none of that. What are the steps that you take?
To stay out of it.
Yeah, just stay away from the street life, and because I know you. The reason I say that is because even with you being young, because I've been put in that situation before, even though I was in the streets. But
Mm.
let's say this: you're young, you still got friends in the streets. You can still get caught up being at the wrong place going to see one of your homies,
Definitely.
and they still doing street things, and somebody can come through and start shooting, or the police could just pull up because they've been watching them because you're there now. You're an accomplice. Things like, man, those things happen all the time. One of the reasons I still go to the hood and kick it with some of my old friends from back in the day, but I don't go all the time like I could because I know stuff like that can happen. Like in the neighborhood that I normally from out here in Houston, it's been a shooting every day for the past month.
Same here.
So I've only been over there probably once in the past month. I've been over there once, and that was just to go pick up my cousin because I know there's too much going on over there. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. So,
Yeah.
what's one of the things that you're doing yourself to try to keep away from that? Because you got school with trying to be a pharmacist, and you got this boxing career ahead of you.
Honestly, man, I just been so busy with the boxing thing. I rarely ever see myself in the streets that often. I mean, granted, I have my family and people around me that get into that lifestyle, but you know, I I've made it clear to them and everyone around me that this is what I plan on doing to not only uplift them but everyone around me. So 9 times out of 10, they'll make sure I'm not in the vicinity of any of that stuff before it goes down.
I like this. So
So
you got the right people around you, basically. I
I
like
don't
that.
allow it any other way.
I like that. That's great thinking. It lets me know that you have a great IQ ahead, and you looking not only as far as your career, but you're paying attention to your surroundings, and that makes a big difference, especially when it comes to your sport, because one of the big things is your outside life can mess with your in the ring. You know what I'm saying? What goes on in that ring? You plan on going in this fight with a clear mind, and you know what you plan on doing in this fighter, but in the back of your head you got so much stuff clouding your judgment. So that lets me know that you got a big head on your shoulder.
Appreciate it, man.
I like that, man. So with that being said, you told me earlier that you got plans for 4 fights in 4 months.
Probably
Man,
more.
that's that's a lot of fights. September, October, November, December. It's booked up. You trying to why are you pushing so hard right now to get that record up so high?
And I've been trying this entire COVID has been horrible for any up any any upbringing for a fairly new fighter because don't know it was at one point nobody wanted to fight, nobody wanted to open up, and it wasn't even that people didn't want to, it's that because nothing was open, so I finally had the opportunity to release myself and show the world what I'm really capable of. I want to do that to a full extent. I don't want to hold the brakes anymore. I'm going full throttle.
Okay, full throttle. So what's your plans? Do you plan on trying to build that record up so you can try to get in contention for a title soon? Are you looking forward to? Are you trying to go for some of these lower level titles like the ABF or the NABA, the NABF titles, or any of those titles, the North American titles?
I'll probably pick those dudes off eventually.
Okay. What's when you decide to get ranked? What sanctioning body are you looking to try to go for first?
I'm not sure. Hopefully, one person has all of them. I take all of them at once. You know what I mean?
Well, right now you got Teofimo trying to going for the unification.
For with Lomachenko.
Lomachenko. Who you got winning that fight?
Shit, that's a tough fight.
That's a tough fight.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man for obvious reasons. I I couldn't tell you honestly. That's a tough fight.
Well,
It's
I know it's a tough fight, but all right, what's a better way to ask you? If I'm not, I know you're not a betting man. You say that's a tough fight, but if you just had to pick,
if I had the
who
favor.
who are you rooting for to win that fight?
If I had the favor,
Yeah,
if I had the favor, I'd say I want Tiafimo to win that.
for the up and coming fighters.
Yeah, yeah. Not only that, but I've seen a lot of a lot of his upbringing, a lot of the trials and tribulations that he went through to get to that position is it's not easy. So I definitely feel where you're coming from.
I understand. Hey, John the Great said, same here. I'm 21, starting boxing. I don't know if it's too late, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Man, let's go for it. It's never too late.
Never too late, but you start around 30 something, it's a smidge too late.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. You laughing? I know a fighter right now. Shout out to Adrian Pequeno out here in Houston. He didn't go pro till he was 35. He's
Mm.
2-0 right now, both knockouts. But he's and he's not even he's a what is it 168, 170, 175 pounder. So it's possible. I wouldn't tell
No,
nobody. I'm not
I would never say it's not possible, but it's not safe.
exactly.
Being that age and fighting people that's my age is not
Yeah,
like I'm coming to kill. I'm not gonna I don't really care how the fuck old you are. That's the last thing I'm thinking in my mind. You step in the ring with me. The only objective on my mind is to destroy. So people when they get to that age, they're more brittle at that age. They have more problems with their bones and their medicine and what they need to nutrient the proper nutrients they need for their body. So I'd say it's not smart to start at a late age like 30. Of course, when you're already in it, you have that. You have when you're 30 and you've been boxing since you were 20, you have a lot of experience. That experience can guide you to get away from those kind of punches that will lead you to more damage when you get older. When you are 30 starting to box and you got a year of experience, 2, 3 years of experience, it's going to be a lot harder for your body to get away from that because you're learning new things. See, I say you can't teach a old dog new tricks, but you can in that sense. But at the same time, you can teach him new tricks. It doesn't always mean he could do them. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. That's why I ain't never go pro. Believe me, I wish I could. If I could turn back the hands of time, it'd be a different story. I
Yeah.
promise you.
But shit, I definitely influence anybody, even if you don't go pro. Definitely train them. Get your body to the peak condition you can at your age.
Do
Because
you think it's any? Do you think it's any other workout harder than a boxing workout? Than
you said
boxing?
any workout harder than boxing
Is,
workouts.
is it any training harder than boxing training?
Uh, there are definitely people that take. You gotta turn it down. But there's definitely people that I know that take workouts to the extreme. I mean, mountain hiking constantly. I mean, what is it? Constant tricep workouts, bicep workouts. They use these workouts to the exact core. They know exactly what they're working with when they do them. They know exactly how many to do to get your body at this peak position. It's it's definitely a lot of workouts that can definitely beat a boxing workout. But I say
But those are for bodybuilders, really.
no, not bodybuilders.
Oh, not bodybuilders.
There's people do extreme cardio stuff like that. People
Yeah,
that do that train for the Olympics and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
with swimming and stuff, that Michael Phelps and them,
Yeah,
swimming is hard. Like
it
swimming,
is.
it uses your entire body. So every muscle in your body is constantly working to keep itself from staying afloat. You know what I mean? So that's definitely more workouts that's harder. But I'd say when boxing, I like to utilize all of them and take them in and use them as my help. So instead of saying that, swimming is a harder workout for boxers, I start swimming. Instead of saying weightlifting or intense workouts is too hard for a boxer, I'll start doing those workouts. You know what I mean? I'll add them to my repertoire so that when I get to that position where I need to use it, I already have it installed in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So you kind of put everything in. You put it all together so you can come out with your perfect workout.
Yeah. So just making sure that I can't leave anything on the table. I don't want to I don't want to come up one day, lose a fight, and then I'd be like, well, I didn't do this in camp. I didn't do this in camp. If I lose, I want it to be this dude. He beat me. I gave him my all. He just beat me. I don't want to have no excuses. If anybody that works in camp with me, they know I don't like having excuses. If I have a bad day, yo, coach, I'm not really having the best day right now. I'll come back tomorrow, do the same thing. We'll make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
If I
exactly.
always get to the point where I want to learn, I always want to learn something while I'm at the gym. I have three coaches in front of me. Each of them have information that I have not yet learned. I want to make sure I have it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
Okay. So what are some of the things that you're implementing now that you didn't know before? Like because you got these 4 fights coming up in 4 months. What are some of the things you're trying to start implementing into your training and into your style of fighting that'll get you ready for these fights? And something that you're
I,
gonna try.
I wasn't I wasn't really utilizing my body movement as much when I fought. I was always good with my feet somewhat, and I was always good with my hands. My shots are very precise, so when I hit people, I know where it's going. But my body just wasn't moving as well. So when I got hit with straight punches, it'd be like I can't really make the excuse. I just know that I need to fix it. So now I'm working on better body movement, getting around the person in front of me. A lot like how Lomachenko does, getting around the dude,
Those angles.
getting the angles, getting around the dude, show him mislead him, put him in a different position, get around him, make him confused. A lot of that stuff has been added to me. So
What about for as far as your head movement? What are you doing to implement things for head movement?
we've been working on that moving a lot, and it definitely shows my what I've learned over time. So hey man, all I'm waiting for is somebody to actually give me the opportunity to use it.
Is there any fighters that you watch that you kind of take away from in your fighting style?
Definitely. Gary Russell, Tiafimo, I take away from a lot of newer dudes too, because like boxing as a whole, not just old fights, but the newer fights actually show you more because people have learned different styles and different movements that you can do while you box. The greatest, one of the greatest things about Muhammad Ali was that he moved an entire boxing nation. He showed people movement that nobody's ever seen before. People were so stationary; they just ready to go right towards the dude. Muhammad Ali looked like a butterfly right around the dude, going right around him, dodging punches left and right. He dodging 20 punches in 5 seconds. He's standing right in front of the dude.
Yeah,
That's bananas, you know what I mean? And people,
and if you're a heavyweight to do it.
yeah, and people didn't yet know what the hell he was doing. Like they didn't see this before, so it was like this is a whole new thing. And I think people of this era are definitely showing me new stuff. We're in the era where social media is available and
Yes.
people record a lot of the workouts they do. Pick up a workout. It's simple. A lot of Canelo workouts that he put on the internet is utilized with me and my team. We use a lot of them. We used a lot of workouts with Bud. We do a lot of workouts. We got people in camp with Bud right now, so it's like we definitely take everything we can and we utilize it out of this era and the last one.
Speaking of Bud, have you fought any of known fighters like sparring or going into camp with any of these guys?
Yeah, one of my sparring partners is in Buzz camp right now as we speak. I'm not really sure if he's up there right now, but I know he was for his last fight, and they had to take it down because of the COVID. But yeah, I can't think of the name right now. I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. But
What about you? Have you fought any of them? Like
mhm.
Bud? Have you fought anybody like Bud, Devin, or
Yeah,
any of those?
definitely. I work with Hank Lundy a lot.
Yeah, I
He's
seen that picture.
he's very experienced. Like when I spar with him, I definitely got to be on my A game because I know he can show me some new stuff I've never seen before. So
What are some things you done learn? What are some things you done learn from Hank Landry? Because I know you've made mistakes that he capitalized on.
yeah, definitely. He's not as hard about it as he used to be. Like 'cause when he was younger, okay, when he was younger, I said when he was younger. When I was younger, I didn't really get to talk to Hank like that because he wasn't really focused on anybody other than what he was doing. So when I got the opportunity to be in camp with him, it was like, I'm learning a lot of different stuff from this dude. When he's seeing me as a new upbringing, he's seeing me as a new era. He showed me so many different styles and different movements that I really have to tell him I appreciate it.
How was it having somebody around you like a Hank Lundy to give you the ropes and help you through your career?
It was good for the most part. I mean, I also have to include that Hank Lundy has his own life, so he does his own thing, and he calls me for work whenever he needs it. So other than working with him when he needs the work, that's pretty much all I can get really out of him. I've had a lot of conversations with Danny Garcia. When I was younger, I used to go to his gym and spar some of his dudes before he like made it a private gym. So you know.
Okay, okay. Man, that's what's up. So tell me. So I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you some a spitfire question. What are five of your top fighters of all time?
Top five. Uh, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd, like Hector Camacho.
You're the first person to say that. Out of all interviews I've ever done, you're the first person to say Hector Camacho, and that's one of my favorite fucking fighters.
Yeah, he's a ferocious little dude. I
Man,
think I think his I went down Florida one time and I think his son was down there or something like that. I didn't get to work with him, but I didn't get to see him. But you know, nor here nor there. But all right, what am I 3?
yeah, it was three.
Who else? I like Pacquiao. Definitely Pacquiao. Pacquiao changed a lot of the game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and Sweet Pea.
Sweet dude. That's a great list. I can't knock your list. That's a hell of a list. What about your top five fighters in the game right now?
Top 5 right now. Canelo. Definitely Canelo. Bud. I say Bud. Sean Porter.
That's first.
Yes, a lot of people don't give Sean Porter his credit.
I got to. He got the best resume in welterweight.
Not only that, but he is a hell of a fighter. I mean,
He's
people
a
give him
dog,
all like he's. It takes a lot to say that they beat Sean Porter.
and it does.
It's not something that you can just say. You know what I mean? Like it's shit. Just saying that, out loud, I can only imagine it would take a whole heap of energy out of you just saying that. You know what I mean? Like,
Everybody that beat Sean Porter was a close fight.
it was a hard fight.
Yes. Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, and Earl Spence. And to be honest with you, I don't care what nobody say. I still got Sean Porter beating Keith Thurman.
You said you got Sean Porter.
Me personally, but you know, the judges say different. Keith came out with the win, but I had Thurman winning that fight.
Yeah. Who else I got on the list?
Got 2 more to go.
Gary Russell. Hopefully I can get to that area by the time he's still in his prime area. I definitely would like to fight him. No, boxing been really quiet lately. So I haven't been able to check up on nobody. The Charlos? I like the Charlos. I don't know if I'll put them at top.
They're my favorite fighters. I ain't gonna lie to you, both of them.
I like the Charlos. I wouldn't put them in the top right now. Yeah, I probably say the big Charlo. Yeah.
You didn't say nothing about Earl Spence or Deontay Wilder or Lomachenko or.
That's why I was saying it's been the boxing game real quiet lately, so I really ain't been able to brush up on a lot. Probably Spence over Charlo.
John the Great said, which state you think have the best fighters?
Which state?
Yeah.
That's good. I think Philly got the best. I think Philadelphia has the best fighters.
That's what I knew. You better say it then. If you'd have said it in the other state, I'd have asked you what the hell you been smoking.
No. But you know what? I can say that, and I can also take it away because, like I was saying earlier, a lot of Philly fighters take away their entire resume before they can even get it started. A lot of Philly fighters. I know a lot of dudes that's so stuck up in the streets that they could have been world champions. I mean,
but see, that's just it, though. You know, I look at it like this: you're coming up in Philly. I'm from Houston. I'm from Texas, so I'm gonna always say Texas got the best fighters. Just like the guys from Ohio gonna say the guys from Ohio got the best fighters.
That's not always true. That's not always true because I know a lot of cornbread states that are bringing up real tough fighters right now. But like I said, I would say Philly because growing up as a Philly fighter, I've seen all the skill. I've browsed past all the skill and the potential that my city has. A lot of it is potential right now. It's potential. It can or it can't, you know. So that's what I'd say. My city is one of the top right now because we have a lot of fighters with potential, and it really just takes commitment to keep them on that track to get somewhere. You know what I mean?
Well, see, y'all got one of my favorite fighters out of Philly, and it hurt me with some of the news that I found out today. But J-Rock is one of my favorite fighters out of Philly. And one thing that hurt me today is that Breadman is no longer his trainer. But
I just said you just informed me of that. I didn't know that.
Oh man, I just found out like an hour before we did this interview. I haven't even got the chance to go look at the interview that Breadman did where he said it. But yeah, man, I'm about after we get off this, I'm gonna actually go listen to that interview. But J-Rock coming out of Philly, Gary Russell. It's a lot of fighters y'all got in that area that man, it's just in that whole area that y'all got right there. Even with the cats coming out of Baltimore, I consider that whole area, the DMV area is just it's on fire, in my opinion. Y'all got a lot of talent, a lot of talent. That's why y'all are almost like the mecca of boxing. To be honest with you, Philly, Philly and
So
Ohio. You know, even when I was out there, I had to go to the Rocky statue. You know, I got a picture by the Rocky statue.
everybody does, man.
I had to.
Remember,
It wouldn't
I,
been right.
I did driving. I did driving for a lot of the fighters. So whenever the new guys come in, like some dudes come in from Japan or Russia or not even from out of this country, even like from the state, and from the states like Texas or DC or something like that. They'll be like, "Yo, can you take us to the Rocky statue?" And I'll take them down there, and they'll be ecstatic. Like it's just so much excitement to see the statue. And I'm like, I drive past this every day, and it's nothing to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this is that was just one of the stuff. I just had to. When I went down there, matter of fact, after it was the next day after the fight, I said I'm gonna stay an extra day. All the fighters and everybody was gone. I stayed an extra day just so I can go sightseeing around Philly. I went to y'all little vegan restaurants. I went and got me a vegan Philly cheesesteak because I don't eat meat. You know, I went to that little museum y'all had right there by the Rocket statue. I went to the casino and lost some money. I was mad as fuck because y'all limits on the crap table was high as hell. But I had fun while I was in Philly. I said, me personally, I gotta go back because I didn't get a chance to experience the city like I could have because I was only there. I only got to experience one day of the city, and I know it's more than what I got to experience. I didn't get to go to the water. I didn't get to go check out none of the piers. I didn't get to, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot more to do.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been to Penn's Landing. Penn's Landing is pretty nice. They do little sections for any people that come in. So they'll do gay pride. They'll do open month. They'll do all kinds of stuff for the people.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back. Believe me. I told you I'm coming to one of your fights, so I'm definitely coming back.
I appreciate that, man.
I'm definitely coming back. Shout out to KQKC. I see you. H Money saying H Money going in ain't nobody got time for that. We in an interview on boxing, man. But yeah, y'all get him up out of here. That's what y'all got riches for. But let's finish up because we ain't got much more time. What's so matter of fact, I didn't get to ask you this. Since you are a fan of the sport, what are some of your fights that you actually go study, like old school fights that you go watch and look at those fighters and try to implement that in your fighting style?
So like I said, with the Hector Camacho, I liked his variety of punches. So like with the amateurs, I was never much of a variety puncher. I was always a precise and land the punch kind of dude. But every now and then it would come to my mind about he fought, and sometimes how he fought was kind of the way to win the fight, even if you was down. Just showing the judge, just showing the judges that you throwing a bunch of punches and you landing on them, it could win you the fight. And sometimes that worked for me.
You know, one thing I love about Hector Camacho is why I was a fan. He put combinations together beautifully.
Amazing, yeah. Him and Pacquiao.
Yeah, and it was Pacquiao do it unorthodox,
Yeah, he does it a little bit.
different.
Yeah, he does definitely. He's different with his punches. I'm not really sure if he's aiming to throw those punches or he just throwing them because that's just what he does. But definitely the combos from them two was just beautiful.
Yeah, I like Pacquiao too. I was a fan coming up for a little bit, and I love to see how he throw his punches from odd angles and throws his opponents off. That's how a lot of times he knock opponents out because I ain't never seen nobody throw a jab, throw it straight, come back to the body with a jab, and then come back straight back up top with a straight. I'm like, how in the fuck did you just do that? Like, yo, my body can't even move that. I can't move that way to where I can even do that. And it not feel awkward to me. But if you train your body in a way like that to throw those awkward punches, your body get used to it. And I've seen him do awkward punches like that in every single fight that throws his opponents completely off.
It's very hard to prepare for. Shit, I've only seen one dude fight like that, and that dude was in like Florida, I think.
Yeah, it's not another one. Shout out to John the Great in that super chat. He said, "I'm gonna head out right now. Stay ready." But before I do, last question I got is, what advice would you give somebody just starting out? You know, I always ask that question, but he asked it earlier.
Yeah, I would say consistency. No matter what, time is going to time is always going to tell what and who has been working. So as long as you're strong and consistent and committed to the work that you put in, yeah, I can't tell you you won't be a world champ one day.
And I see you. Oh, I see you real dedicated.
Every day, man. Shit, it is not easy waking up at 3 in the morning, getting prepared to go run for an hour and a half. It's not easy.
And you do this. You do this every single day.
Almost every day, yeah.
No days off.
No days off.
Man, I like that dedication. I don't get I talk to a lot of fighters, but 3 times a day, that's a lot of dedication. That's a lot of dedication. I know a lot of fighters that's strictly boxing. They don't have no other job like yourself. They just strictly boxing, and I don't even see them training 3 times a day.
It's a lot, man. A lot.
What about when you?
A lot of it'll be situational and stuff. Like I won't work out that day because no, I'm not saying I'll work out, but I won't do the third workout that day. So I'll just go play basketball or something like that, or I'll some tennis or something like that, or I'll just do a walk with my family, something like that. Just getting me off, just getting me off the rocker. I'm trying to constantly move at least, you know.
What is what is the one thing that you say yourself? You know, even though you're undefeated, you still moving up in the sport. What is one thing that you know personally that you have to work on and get better at, so you don't make any mistakes in your future part of your career?
Just learning. I mean, I've always, as a student of boxing, I've always been willing to learn whatever my coach tells me. If I feel like, I didn't do it right when he asked me to do it, I'll stop. I'll stop, bring it back, and put myself in a position again where I can keep putting it over and over and over again to my head till I get it right. I don't really like the thought of me doing it wrong in the middle of a fight and I can't take it back now. So I want to practice it as much as I can before I get to that point, you know.
I like that. I like that. I really do. So before we get up out of here, there's one question. I know he asked any advice, but I always ask questions. What is some motivational or some inspiring words that you would give to some of these young fighters? Because I do have a lot of fighters that be watching the show, a lot of boxers that's going to come back and watch the show, even some fighters that are watching right now. What is any, some that's currently amateurs? What is just something that you want to leave an imprint on their mind as they move forward in their career and we keep going?
Don't be afraid to fail. I see a lot of people they don't take advantage of the opportunities given to them because they're afraid they might lose or they might fail or they might not get to that point where they want to be. I tell anybody, don't be afraid to fail. I've known people in my not only just in my family but like in life that passed on so many opportunities because they felt like, well, I mean, if I'm not strong enough to do it, then I'll lose. And I hate that mindset that people have. But with not only just life, but like with anything, if you have a set goal to be something, to do something, to gain something, to want something, what does failing have to do with it? Failing is only a setback. You can always move forward. You know what I mean? Unless you lose your life in that process, you can always move forward, no matter what the situation is. Anything and everything has been overcame. So if somebody's done it, why can't you?
Basically telling them you learn from your mistakes, keep moving forward after you make that mistake. You take that loss or anything happen to you, you're greater than that. Let's see where
Rebuttal.
you go after you done lost or after you done made that mistake. Let's see where you go from there.
You rebuttal.
Uh,
You rebuttal.
yeah, you rebuttal. Basically, that's a great word, man. So man, I appreciate you coming through. We're gonna have to do this again. You got a fight on September 26th. That Sunday after your fight. If you ain't doing nothing, I want to bring you back on. Okay,
That's
you
fine.
ready?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cause believe me, I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna find somebody that got that fight footage. I'm gonna be looking for it. I want to bring you back on, and I want you to talk about everything that happened in that fight. I want your mind frame, your everything.
That's cool.
Already. So do me a favor. Tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can find you at. Just give out your social medias.
I'm on Instagram at Nafear Charles. You see me, official team, no fear. Look out for me, man. I'm definitely up and coming prospect. I'm willing to take out any and everybody. So I'm sorry if you end up in that way, but you're gonna get knocked down.
Already, but I like that mindset, man. You got a fan in me, and I know you got some more fans out of the chat today. I appreciate you coming through, man. Uh, it's been a great interview. We're gonna do this again. Matter of fact, we're gonna do this again on the 27th, September 27th. That's Sunday. I know that's the Sunday for the Charlo fight, but oh, I'm gonna get some fight footage. I know some. Is it gonna be in Philly?
No,
Where's it gonna be at?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. I'm gonna
Yeah,
find somebody in South Carolina. Somebody gonna get. If you get any fight footage, send it to me.
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely have that.
Already, man. And shout out to you. And shout out to the almighty LDBC. That's Lions Den boxing community. If you didn't know, now you know, man. I appreciate the champ for coming through. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody in the super chat. I appreciate everybody that called in to the show tonight. The call in line been open all night. Y'all could have called and asked any question you want. Um, I appreciate you coming through, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, share this video to all your social media followers. It helps grow the show. It helps bring more followers, more subscribers. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time I go live. And man, I appreciate you again, Nafear. We're gonna get you back on here, man. And it's your boy Mac with Stay Ready Boxing TV. You ain't gotta get ready if you stay ready, man. Peace.